Well, it looks like tomorrow we are going to be getting some news out of California finally for another step forward or in one direction or another regarding the Proposition 8 case that has been pending before the California Supreme Court. The tweeting began this afternoon about 2:30 p.m. Central Time, indicating that the Supreme Court would be releasing its opinion, the California Supreme Court, mind you, releasing its opinion by 10 a.m. Thursday. That'd be 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And as I said, this is about legal standing, whether the group Project Marriage has the legal standing to defend Proposition 8 as it wends its way through federal court, undoubtedly to the U.S. Supreme Court. So a little background on this issue. Proposition 8 was a ballot proposal that was generated by this group, Project Marriage. Why? Because the state of California wasn't going to get it on the ballot. So it was a citizens' initiative effort to get Proposition 8 on the ballot. And it was passed, and so then it was challenged. And it was on constitutional grounds, so it went to a federal judge. And you may remember that judge's name. It was District Judge Vaughn Walker. And it was argued, the case against Proposition 8 was argued very strongly by two really powerhouse attorneys, and that would be Ted Olson and David Boies, who ironically were the attorneys who argued against each other in the Gore versus Bush case regarding that election. But they got together to argue this case, essentially to say that this issue of marriage was a people's right, not a government right. And then the group that was bringing it forward to support Proposition 8 was, again, this Project Marriage group. Because largely the state of California was kind of like, we don't want to defend this law. So Judge Walker, on August 4th of 2010, ruled the law unconstitutional. So this was then appealed to the Ninth Circuit. Well, the Ninth Circuit, this is the District Court of Appeals that includes the state of California, a three-judge panel, which is not uncommon, initially was going to take a look at this. And they appeared inclined to say, yes, we're going to side with Judge Walker on this, which would then open the doors for it to be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. The thing is, they wanted something clarified. They wanted to know, did the group Project Marriage have legal standing to defend the law? You see, the idea is it's a law, so it should be the state defending the law, maybe, right? So this needed to be clarified, and so that's how it got to the California State Supreme Court. And they heard arguments about this this past fall, in fact. And it's interesting to point out something about that, because this is a very big issue. It's not just about marriage. It's not just about gay marriage. And it's not just about gay rights. It is about whether citizen groups who organize and get something on the ballot to change law, do they have the right to defend that law if it becomes challenged by another side? So this is really important stuff. It's bigger than that, and which is why, in some respects, I am anticipating the California Supreme Court to rule in favor of Project Marriage, to say that, yes, they do have legal standing. And I think that is going to be the right ruling. And and here's the reason, because it makes pretty good sense when you stop and think about it this way. Suppose you've got a municipality that the population is predominantly white, and a group of citizens comes to the city council and says, we would like to have a curfew law enacted so that all non-white people have to be inside their homes by sunset, or they would be jailed immediately. The city council would look at that, or at least the city council in its right mind would look at that and go, this is crazy. We're not going to enact that kind of a law. That's just preposterous. Well, unperturbed, this group goes out and collects petitions to actually get it put on the ballot. And it gets on the ballot, it gets certified, and then the election comes, and lo and behold, it passes because there just happened to be enough white people who felt the same way and voted for that law. Well, then a group comes along and takes it to the local judge to say, I want this law overturned. This is crazy, but it's unconstitutional. This is not right. And city council, they don't think it's right either. So they're like, well, we're not going to show up in court. We're not going to answer it. We're not going to defend it. Okay? Well, the group that got this ballot measure going, no matter how reprehensible you might think such a ballot measure is, they should have the right to defend their law, not the government, just because it became law. Because they were the ones, whatever group, were the ones that got it on the ballot measure. They got people to vote for it. They need to defend it. So that's what's going on here. Okay, so even though the state of California may be disinclined to defend this law, that should not prevent the group Project Marriage from making its case to defend this law, which I would anticipate would be a laughable case. They certainly were laughable when they were trying to present the case to Judge Vaughn Walker. So anyway, that's what we're going to be expecting to hear tomorrow. And certainly there'll be lots and lots of news about it, and later on I may provide some information and analysis as we look forward, because as I say, I'm anticipating this is going to go to the Supreme Court, and there's a lot of legal precedent here. A lot of legal precedent, and it'd be kind of good to kind of go over these kinds of things. In the meantime, hey, stop by the blog, Libertarian Lunacy, leave a comment, give me some feedback and maybe even some tips, on the video recording of these. What would you like to see? What would you like to have me talk about? And whatever else you might have. I will be improving the production quality as we go along. I'm going to get a remote mic and also another remote so that I can stand further away from the camera and turn it on and off. I'd like to do something a little better with this studio, which is just my office right now. So maybe I can do something with that. Hey, give me some ideas. I'd love to hear from you all. But until then, we'll be dealing with the lunacy out there as best we can, because Lord knows there's a lot of it out there. Oh, thank goodness for that.